The Second Coming of Jesus Christ, a Christian hope and theological anchor. The Second Coming of Jesus Christ is a cornerstone of Christian eschatology and a vital expression of the Christian hope. Rooted in Scripture and affirmed throughout church history, this doctrine declares that Jesus, who once came in humility to redeem humanity, will one day return in glory to judge the living and the dead, to consummate his kingdom, and to restore all things to their intended order under God. Unlike the first advent, marked by obscurity and sacrifice, the second coming will be unmistakable, public, and majestic. Biblical foundations. The New Testament is replete with references to the return of Christ. In the Gospel of Matthew, Jesus himself foretells his return. They will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Matthew 24, verses 30 ESV. This event is not metaphorical or symbolic, but is presented as a literal, visible return of Christ to earth. Similarly, in Acts 1, verse 11, angels tell the disciples that Jesus will return in the same manner in which he ascended into heaven. The book of Revelation expands this vision, depicting Christ as a triumphant king riding a white horse, coming to judge and wage war against evil. Revelation 19, verse 11. 16. These prophetic visions underscore the seriousness and grandeur of the Second Coming and its central place in Christian teaching. Theological significance. The Second Coming holds several theological purposes. First, it is the moment of final judgment. According to 2 Timothy 4, verse 1, Christ will judge the living and the dead, separating the righteous from the unrighteous. This judgment is not arbitrary, but is based on divine justice and mercy. Second, it involves the resurrection of the dead. In 1 Thessalonians 4, verse 16 through 17, the Apostle Paul explains that believers who have died will be raised, and those still alive will be caught up to meet the Lord. This resurrection affirms the Christian belief in life after death and the bodily redemption of believers. Third, the Second Coming marks the restoration of creation. Paul writes in Romans chapter 8, verses 21 through 23, that creation itself will be liberated from its bondage to decay and brought into the freedom and glory of the children of God. Revelation 21 depicts a new heaven and new earth where God dwells among his people, wiping away every tear. Finally, the Second Coming inaugurates the full reign of Christ. He will establish a kingdom of peace, righteousness, and justice, a fulfillment of messianic prophecies that have not yet been completely realized. Signs and warnings. Jesus and the apostles warned of signs that would precede his return. These include wars, famines, earthquakes, moral decay, and widespread deception. Matthew 24. Paul speaks of a great falling away and the rise of the man of lawlessness, 2 Thessalonians 2. However, Scripture also warns believers not to obsess over dates or specific predictions. Jesus taught that no one knows the day or the hour of his return, not even the angels in heaven. Matthew 24, 36. The emphasis, then, is on readiness rather than speculation. Practical implications for believers. The doctrine of the Second Coming is not intended to provoke fear or fuel apocalyptic fanaticism. Rather, it serves as a motivating force for holy living and a call to faithful service. Believers are exhorted to be vigilant, morally upright, and spiritually prepared. The parable of the 10 virgins, Matthew 25, 1-13, illustrates the importance of being ready when the bridegroom, Christ, returns. Furthermore, the Second Coming fuels evangelistic urgency. Knowing that Christ will return to judge the world and consummate his kingdom compels Christians to share the gospel, making disciples of all nations. Matthew 28, 19, 20. It is a mission driven by hope, not fear. Hope that more will come to know the grace of Christ before his return. Conclusion. The Second Coming of Jesus Christ remains one of the most profound and hope-filled doctrines in Christian theology.